We've been playing on this hardcore world for just over 1,000 days now, and we've only just started to bring our basic necessities into the end with us. We have sugarcane, we have wheat, and we have a few odds and ends of other farms. What we don't have yet is animals, so today we're going to be transforming this large area on the farming island into a barnyard. And we're going to do it with the things that I have in my hand right now. No, not the propagules, but the actual wood. How's it going, guys? This is Kingelffe, and today on the hardcore world, we're going to be doing some building. If we have the time for it, we might even be doing some redstone. And we all know how redstone time with King goes. Failure, 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 and then sometimes success. But we are over in our makeshift wood farming area, and I've been doing some work. Let me tell you, these mangrove logs are not fun to harvest. We may have to look into an automatic tree farm at some point in the near future here. But I've been hard at work getting as much mangrove as I can, so we're going to bring this all back to the main island with us so that we can get to some building. I really hope this is enough mangrove. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because I have done the design for the front half of the barnyard in my creative world, but I haven't done the sides or the back or the rest of the roof. It's literally just a front facade, but we'll build that and then we'll just kind of wing the rest. Ooh, we're gonna need some more cobbled deep slate soon. Always need more lanterns. There we go, I think I have the materials together that I need. There's not a huge variety of materials that I need, but there's a lot of variants. So we need like stairs, and we need slabs, and we need fences and fence gates for all of these different variants that we have with us. So, like I said, not a whole lot of block variation, but a lot of block variation at the same time. You know what I'm trying to say. We're really not wasting any time this episode, are we? Let's get to building. There we go, there's the front of the barn that I designed here. Like I said, that's all I've designed, but at least we have a front. And knowing what the front looks like will help us design the sides too. So I believe this is about 30 blocks long, and we're going about 35 blocks that way. We know we're going to be using mangrove for the walls, and we're going to be using deep slate for the roof, and that's about all we need to know, and we just got to make sure it's a little bit textured. So I guess let's give this a try and see how it goes. for going into this without a plan, I think it turned out pretty good. Taking a run along the side here, you probably saw at the beginning of the time-lapse that I had a little bit of trouble trying to figure out a design for these little modular side pieces, but I eventually settled on this because I think it's a good balance between words. It's a good balance of detail. It's not over-detailed and it's not under-detailed. So I carried that across most of the area, and then I left the ends a little bit different just to add a little bit of variation. And then for the most part on the back, I just replicated the design from the front, except for, of course, there's no door on the back. And then just a nice simple roof because, I mean, it is just a barn after all. But now that I have the exterior done, I have the fun task of trying to figure out how to do the interior. With the exception of this middle part here, it's not a very tall structure, so we are going to have a second level that's right up here, 5 blocks tall, but I don't know how far over we'll be able to bring it. Maybe to like here before we actually have to cut it off, because I think anything less than 3 blocks is too short. Man, we did use quite a bit of that mangrove wood. I hope we have enough to finish this, because I don't fancy going to collect more. But yeah, I think a good start is to bring the floor from one side to the other. There we go, we got the top platform done, but I think I'm probably going to want to cut out in the middle here to break up this large piece of mangrove, but I want to get the bottom level done first. So now the $1,000,000 question, how do I want to do the bottom level? Also, I think I need to find another block that contrasts with the mangrove, that way it's not just all red. I guess first we can make the pens. There we go. I don't think that looks too bad for a first run over. We might go back and add some more details or change things up later, but for now we're going to move on. And I definitely think we have to fix up these gaps in the wall where the acacia is. There we go, much cleaner. Now we also got to break up the floor a little bit because there's far too much green for a barn. There we go, this is looking a little bit more like a barnyard floor now. I think I might mix in some spruce planks too, that way it looks like there's supposed to be a floor, but it's just covered in mud and dirt and everything from all the animals trekking through here. I also left a good amount of grass in the middle here, but I wanted to kind of break it up with some dirty and muddy spots too, because the animals would, you know, make the pens dirty and everything from living in there for so long. You know what? Yeah, I actually do think that the spruce works better for the floor. That way we're breaking up the colors a little bit. And I think having this natural tone will help blend the grass a little better too, because right now it kind of stands out with all the red. And once we have the spruce on the ceiling here for the bottom floor, I think it'll start to look a little better too. One thing that I do have to consider is I have to raise the floor up a little bit at some point up here, because if I bring the floor straight across here like I was planning, it intercepts with the window. So I think if we hop up one in line with this pillar right here, we'll be good. Not bad, not bad. I do think we need to do something with these center ones though. I was going to leave them empty, but it looks too empty with nothing there. I mean, the obvious answer would be to just put another one of these up like that, but I don't know how much I want to have more of them. Let's try it on one side and see how it looks. Alright, that's one option, I guess. What if I double up the fence gates? Expensive, but better. I do think we need to break up the deep slate a little. What if we try replacing every other one with a fence instead? Okay, I think we're on our way to a winner. Although I do think we have to bring this fence here down one, because if you look at this one right here, the fence gates are a little messed up. But if we bring this back down one with the wall, that fixes it. And honestly, I don't think that looks too bad. You know what? I know what this build's missing. These guys right here. And I think if we just throw one in the center on every other, It's a little weird not having one at the end, but I think I can live with it. And actually, I think I'm going to replace this center one here with a solid pillar. That way there's a clear break in where the two pens are. That does unfortunately screw up the fence gates here, but I think we might just have to live with that. Well, it may not be the final draft, but let's go ahead and YouTube magic in the other side. There we go. There it is. Now I guess we need a way up to our second level. Alright, this is our center. And I was going to finish the cutout here, but I think it might be easier to put our second level in first. That way we know what we're working with for design. Because the second level is going to be a little bit different than the first level. Assuming that we have the room, I actually want to put some automatic wool farms in the top level of the barn there. We might not have space, but I'm going to try. And if we're going to be making automatic sheep farms, then that means that we need the most annoying item in the game to craft, the dispenser. They really need to make an easier way to make these. I know I can put all the cobble and redstone in there right away, but meh. Thankfully, it's not a very redstone heavy design. All I should need is 16 dispensers, 16 observers, and maybe a little bit of dust. Alright, let's see if we can make this work. And there is a reason that I had the floor go up here, and it's not only because of where the pillar is, but it's also because we need 6 blocks of height to be able to make this farm. And that's the only place where I can get 6 blocks where I need it, because I need 6 blocks high by 3 by 3. And ideally, I want to make 16 of these, so 8 on either side. So knowing where the center is, let's try and do 4 on this side and 4 on the other side. Well, the good news is it should fit. The bad news is it's going to be an absolute nightmare to decorate. Well, I guess let's just get it done and see how it goes. Well, I actually managed to fit all of the sheep pens up there. Now the challenge is going to be making it look good, because as you can see just looking in the window there, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. And the goal of this upper area is to make it look aesthetically pleasing, even if it's not the most functional thing, because we got lots of space under the island to do functional things if we can't get them to work up here. But I'm going to give it my best go to make it look presentable at least. Oh, the worst thing is, if I moved it back 1 block, it would probably be a lot easier. It's going to be a massive pain, but I think I'm going to do it. It's going to be worth it in the end. Well, that was a lot of work for not a lot of result, but I guess it's time to start decorating. So apparently I didn't record the scenes of me decorating this upper area. Instead, I'll just give you a quick look around up here. Basically, I just added a bunch of mangrove and deep slate accents, as well as we got some spruce trapdoors in here finally. They're still my favorite. But yeah, I think this place is looking good now, so we at least have the design of the sides down packed, so we can start figuring out the middle here where our entrance to the top level is going to be, as well as any cutouts that we want. Because what I was saying is I kind of want an area that looks over the bottom up here, but I didn't know how I wanted it before because I didn't know how much space I had to work with. So I think I'm going to start removing some blocks and see what it looks like. Sadly, I think that's the best I'm going to get, and I don't particularly like it. We remove any more blocks on this side and there's not a good enough walkway, and if we have any less than this, then it's just a 1 wide gap. So I think we're going to scrap that idea. But I do think we'll keep this middle cutout because I think we'll do a staircase here. Oh yeah, and I didn't show it, but I added some spruce planks into the ground here as well, so this is looking real cool now, I think. Which kind of makes me not want to cover it up with a staircase, but we need a way up. Let's just do something kind of like this. Like this to start out with. Now let's try extending it to a 3 wide. Is that too far back? I'm gonna leave it there for now, but let me know in the comments. Is that too far back, or should I move this forward a bit? I'm gonna drop some of these guys on the side here, and I think I'm going to turn all of these kind of like this and see how it looks. Not bad, not bad. Get a bit of this action going on here. Since it's in line with these guys here, I actually think we should try and mimic those. The few fences. and some more of these guys, and maybe replace this with just a full block. Actually, let's just close that off like that too. There we go. It's simple, but I don't think it's a half bad staircase. Finally, I want to add some eating and drinking areas for the animals in here by adding some water areas, kind of like so, and also some eating areas kind of like this, with some wheat in them, more like that. Then we're going to toss some bone meal down on the ground here and knock out a bunch of the tall grass and just kind of get rid of a little bit of the normal grass here and there so that's not super dense. And I think that looks pretty good for an animal pen. I'm going to go ahead and do that a bunch more times for the rest of the pens, and in a little bit different styles every time, I think, and we'll see how it turns out in the end. There we go. I am quite happy with how this has turned out. We've got food and drink for all of our animals, and the last thing that I think I'm going to do for a little bit of a splash of color in the back here, because this is a big wall of nothing, is I'm going to add some just hay bales laying around here, just for a little bit of color and also to show that we have extra food for our animals and they're not just going to starve as soon as they eat all that. And maybe a few extra things of water here too, that way we can, refill our animals' water. And of course, lanterns just make everything look better, so let's scatter a few of those. There we go. I think the interior is complete, except for one very important thing. Our animal pens have no animals in them, and that means dragging animals from the overworld. Yay! Now, thankfully, the cows and the sheep are actually going to be easy because I can just drag a couple of them out of here. Oh, okay. Yep. I guess we're taking 3. And thankfully, we don't have to take these guys very far because they're already in the end. There we go. Let's slap them in the pen here. I'll take those leads back, thank you. And we'll breed a couple of them up too because we're going to need a lot of sheep. All right, well, we got our work cut out for us. The cows are going to be nice and easy because we just have to do the same thing as the sheep. But the chickens and the pigs we're going to have to drag from the overworld, so let's get this process started. Our barn is coming along quite nicely. We have all of our animals in their pens, and unfortunately I made a little bit of an oversight. As you can see, the pigs and the cows are chilling together right now. Well, that's because of that right there. Those little guys managed to jump right over, so I'll have to fix that at some point. But that's just words. That's a problem for another time. I also took the liberty of putting all the sheep in the auto sheep farms, so they're all colored and they're all working with the exception of one thing. I have not loaded them up with shears yet. Unfortunately, we are quite low on iron. I had to start cannibalizing my beacon to afford all those minecarts and everything like that, but I do have a little bit of iron left from that, so we're going to try and at least put 2 or 3 shears in each of those dispensers. Alright, I grabbed a stack of iron, so we'll be able to put 2 in each of them. There we go, and just like that, we are now collecting wool, which is kind of nice because I do have a few builds coming up that some brighter colors might be nice in. I know it's not the most efficient farm in the world, but, right, there's a hole in the floor. I know it's not the most efficient farm, but I wanted it to fit up here. It's not meant to be super functional, it's just meant to get us a little bit of wool passively. If we need a bunch of it, then we will make a big farm below ground. Well, I think we've gotten quite a bit done today, but sadly, I do think that is all we have time for. I am currently in the process of pre-recording videos because I am going on vacation for a little while here. So the next few episodes might be a little shorter and it might have a bit less content in it, but the episodes are coming. I do promise that. In fact, I've got a real special episode coming up soon too, because we did an event recently with another server and that was a ton of fun and I can't wait to share that footage with you guys. As for Runic, I don't know when the next episode will be. I'm working on a rather large project on Runic right now, and I don't know when it'll be finished, and I don't think I'll have time to finish it before I go on vacation, but I will be working on it while I'm away, because I will have some time to play still. But I do hope you guys like this one. If you did, make sure to drop it a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!